first craft components, then use the components to craft usable items. As you level up your artists, usually by crafting different types of quality attachments, more schematics will show up on the career skills trainer. Crafting low-level schematics won't help you level up your crafting skill. The more to craft, the more difficult it will be. And the easiest way to see if a crafting skill There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are unlockable. Some of the schematics I found on the GTN that you can buy from other players would be custom-built lightsaber and double-bladed saber, the elegant modified lightsaber and double-bladed saber, and the mid-level lightsaber and saber style. Another thing to note is that you do not need good equipment while you're leveling up in the game. Crafting is something fun and supplementary you can do to gear yourself or rent them, but it is not required. As an art wizard, you can also craft all kinds of other cool things, including dyes, color crystals for your lightsaber and blaster, and fields you can put inside model lightsabers to upgrade them. These items are almost the exact same thing as lightsabers, just some require components, some require a high-end art design, and all require materials for combat and treasure hunting. I hope you enjoyed learning how to craft your first lightsaber and how to craft an artifice in general. If you want to show your support of the series or get similar Star Wars gameplay videos on your YouTube page, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Oh.
Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars and As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally
I want to hear this
your first
video
lightsaber as you
soon.
follow your class story at the end of your first planet. After After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or buying a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet after you leave your first planet by talking to the Artifice Trainer. When you talk to a Crew Skills Trainer for the first time, a codex will pop up that tells you about the skill and two complementary gathering skills are. The two gathering crew skills that go with Artifice are Treasure Hunting and Archaeology, which allow you to get the materials to craft Artifice items. If you're on a free-to-play account, you can only choose one crew skill per character, so you might take Artifice on one character and Archaeology on another and have them work together. If you're a former subscriber, you'll have two crew skills slots available, but you can get a third for free by using our referral link. I've linked mine in the description of this video, and if you're a subscriber, you naturally have three crew skills available, so you can make all three complementary crew skills: Archaeology, Treasure Hunting, and Artifice, all on one character. After you've talked to the Crew Skills Trainer, you can start gathering materials to craft a lightsaber right away with Archaeology and Treasure Hunting by sending your companions out to gather. Press B on your keyboard to open the Crew Skills window, then click either the Archaeology or Treasure Hunting symbol. You'll have a few Grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up, and more missions will become available. Archaeology also allows you to pick up any crystals and archaeological finds you see on the ground while you're out and about questing. If you right-click any gathering node, your companion will go and grab it for you. Many players take these types of gathering crew skills, Archaeology, Scavenging, Biochem, and Slicing, so they can pick up materials off the ground to sell or to use later for crafting. You can buy and sell materials on the GTN, also located on the fleet, so if you have credits and don't want to spend time gathering, you can buy materials from other players who have gathered them. Your crafting materials will lead and follow into your materials bay, which you can get to from your inventory. This materials bay is shared by all your characters on your server. Any materials you pick up will be placed in your materials bay, and anything you craft will drop from your materials bay. To start crafting, press the B key again to open the Crew Skills window and the Artifice symbol beside your companion. This will open the crafting schematics window, which shows everything you have available to craft. When you chose Artifice as a crew skill, you got some basic schematics to help get you started. We're going to start by crafting a Roomba Artifice Bonded Attachment, a schematic we got from the Artifice Trainer by default, which requires 2 lost artifact fragments, 2 fibrous nightlight solutions, and 2 rubat crystals. Since we're using the Artifice crew skill, the materials will likely come from the complementary skills, either Archaeology or Treasure Hunting. To find out what type of crafting materials these are, hover over them. When you look at the tooltip lead on them, the lost artifact fragments are Grade 1 artifact fragments, and the rubat crystals are Grade 1 power crystals. If you open up your Archaeology missions, you'll notice that the missions tell you what they reward. In this case, your first 2 available missions reward Grade 1 power crystals and artifact fragments, which is exactly what we're looking for, so we'll send our companions out to get some by double-clicking the mission.
Until next
With the
time.
fibrous nightlight solution, the last material we need is a white-bordered material. White-bordered materials are a bit different.
I got some braces on this.
To gather them,
That increased my bow damage by about 20% or 20 points or something. I'm already one shot and shit is on and cracking.
sells them pretty cheap. When you're buying from this vendor or any vendor, don't shift left-click an item to buy an exact amount of that item. You don't have to right-click it 16 times. Once you have all the materials you need, either from send your companions on gathering missions, other vendors, or buying from the skill vendor, go back to your and click craft on the bottom right, and your companion will start crafting. Once your companion is finished crafting it, the item will show up in your inventory. The first lightsaber you can craft with Artifice is a fire-mounted lightsaber or double-bladed lightsaber, which requires Artifice level 10. You won't be able to skip the Artifice trainer yet when you first pick up Artifice because your crafting level is too low. As you craft Rubat Artifice bonded attachments, Your crafting level will go up, and once you reach Arcus level 10, the schematic will be available from the Arcus trainer. So our first lightsaber, the Fire Dead lightsaber, require 4 full-size Arcus and 4 or 5 of those to craft. You craft the 4 yourself. When you cover or fire nose, you'll be able to craft your first lightsaber. Nice. Many types of crafted items require this 2-step process. First, craft components, then use the components to craft usable items. As you level up your artifice, usually by crafting different types of bonded attachments, more schematics will show up on the crew skills trainer. Crafting low-level schematics won't help you level up your crafting skill. You must craft more difficult items over time, and the easiest way to see if a crafting schematic will raise your crafting level is by looking at the colors of the schematic in the schematics window. If it's gray, you won't gain any crafting levels by crafting it, and crafting orange items will give you the biggest boost to your crafting level. The Fire lightsaber is characters who are at level 10 is slightly higher, but higher level lightsabers still become available over time as you craft more. One important thing to know, though, is that these craftable lightsabers are not moddable.
Still here.
They're
What do you want me to do?
they're meant for, and they're not useful to you when you're a higher level in the game. There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are moddable. Some of the schematics I found on the GTN that you can buy from other players include the custom-built
Lead on.
the elegant modified lightsaber and double-bladed saber, and the Midland lightsaber and saber staff. Another thing to note is that you do not need good equipment while you're leveling up in the game. Crafting is something fun and supplementary you can do to gear yourself or friends up, but it is not required. As an artist, these items are crafted in almost the exact same way as the lightsaber we just crafted. Some require components, some require a high enough artifact, and all require materials like treasure hunting. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to craft your first lightsaber and in general. If you want to show your support for this series, or to have similar Star Wars The Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you. Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars The Old Republic. As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally receive your first lightsaber as you follow your droid at the end of your first planet. After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or buying a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section at the beginning of your first planet by talking to the Artifice trainer. When you talk to a Crew Skills trainer for the first time, a codex will pop up that tells you Artifice are one crew skill per character, so you might take Artifice and archaeology on another and have them work together. If you're a former subscriber, they'll have 2 crew skills slots available, but you can get a third for free by using a referral code. I've linked mine in the description of this video, and if you're a subscriber, you naturally have 3 crew skills unlocked per character, so you can take all 3 complementary crew skills, archaeology, treasure hunting, and artifice, all on one character. After you've talked to the crew skills trainer, you can start gathering materials to craft a lightsaber right away with archaeology and treasure hunting by sending your companions out to gather. Press B on your keyboard to open the crew skills window, then click either the archaeology or treasure hunting symbol. You'll have a few grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up, and more missions will become available. Archaeology also allows you to pick up any crystals and archaeological finds you see on the ground while you're out and about questing. If you right-click any gathering node, your companion will go and grab it for you. Many players take these types of gathering crew skills, archaeology, scavenging, biochem, and slicing, so they can pick up materials off the ground to sell or to use later for crafting.
Now look what you got
Try
yourself.
to sell materials on the
Sit tight
missions
and
located on the fleet. So if you have
What was
credits
that?
and don't want to spend time gathering, you can buy materials from other players to gather them. Your crafting materials will automatically go into your materials bay, which you can get to from your inventory. This materials bay is shared by all the characters on the server. Any material press the B key to open the crystal window, and the artist symbol beside a companion. This will open the crafting
Wow.
schematics window, which shows
I wasn't
everything
expecting
you
that.
able to craft. When you chose Artifice as a crew skill, you got some basic schematics to help get you started. We're going to start by crafting a Rubat Artifice Bonded Attachment, a schematic we got from the Artifice trainer by default, which requires 2 lost artifact fragments, 2 fibrous nightlight solutions, and 2 Rubat crystals. Since we're using the Artifice crew skill, the materials will likely come from the complementary skills, either archaeology or treasure hunting. To find out what type of crafting materials these are, hover over them. When you look at the tooltip by hovering over them, the lost artifact fragments are grade 1 artifact fragments, and the Rubat crystals are grade 1 power crystals. If
I
you
hope
open
I
up your
am
archaeology
scared.
missions, you'll notice that the missions
It's a
tell you
blessing
what
getting
crystals
this
are.
here. We
In
could
this
be
case, your
wild
first 2 power
beasts.
missions were grade 1 power crystals and artifact fragments, which is exactly what we're
Only
looking
the
for.
servant
Send your companions out to get some high double cooking mission. The fibrous
Eyes on the
nightlight
prize.
solution, the last material we need, is a white bordered
Still the
material.
trouble.
White bordered materials are a bit different. You can either send your companions to gather them if you have a mission available for them, or buy them directly from a vendor called the Crew Skills Trade Vendor in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet, who sells them pretty cheap. When you're buying from this vendor, or any vendor, don't forget you can shift left-click an item to buy an exact amount of the item. Buying them from other players, or buying them from that Crew Skills vendor, go back to your bonded attachment schematic for Artifice and click Craft on the bottom right, and your companion will start crafting. Once your companion is finished crafting it, the item will show up in your inventory. The first lightsaber you can craft with Artifice is a Fire Node lightsaber or double-bladed lightsaber, which requires Artifice level 10. You won't be able to see it on the Artifice trainer yet when you first pick up Artifice because your crafting level is still low. As you craft Rubat Artifice bonded attachments,
I hope
your
I am
crafting will
scared.
go up, and once you
It's a
reach
blessing
Artifice
getting
level
this
10,
here. I
schematic
hope
will be
I am
available from the
scared.
Artifice trainer.
It's a blessing
So
getting
first
this here.
lightsaber, the Fire Node lightsaber, requires
We should
4
keep shooting.
Rubat
Still the
Artifice
trouble.
bonded attachments that we were just crafting, and 4 Fire Nodes to craft. You craft the 4 bonded attachments yourself, and when you complete the Fire Node, you'll see it's a gemstone, which is the type of material that can gather items require this 2-step process. First craft components, then use the components to craft usable items. As you level up your Artifice, you learn by crafting different types of attachments, more schematics will show up on the Crew Skills tree. Crafting low-level schematics won't help you level up your crafting skill. You must craft more difficult items over time, and the easiest way to see if a crafting schematic will raise your crafting level is by looking at the colors of the schematic in the schematics window. If it's gray, you won't gain any crafting levels by crafting it, and crafting orange items will increase your crafting level. The Fire Node lightsaber is meant for characters who are at level 10 or slightly higher, but higher level lightsabers will become available over time as you craft more. One important thing to know though is that these craftable lightsabers are not moddable. This means they are locked to the level they are meant for, and they are not useful to you when you're a higher level in the game. There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are moddable. Some of the schematics I found on the GTN that you can buy from other players include the custom lightsaber and double-bladed saber, the elegant modified lightsaber and double-bladed saber, and the mid-lift lightsaber and saber staff. Another thing to note is that you do not need good equipment while you're leveling up in the game. Crafting is something fun and supplementary you can do to gear yourself or friends up, but it is not required. As an artificer, you can also craft all kinds of other cool things, including dyes, color crystals for your lightsaber or blaster, relics you can equip, and hilts you can put inside moddable lightsabers to upgrade them. These items are crafted in almost the exact same way as the lightsaber we just crafted. Some require components, some require a high enough artifice level, and all require materials from archaeology and treasure hunting. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to craft your first lightsaber and how to craft with artifice in general. If you want to show your support for this series, or to have similar Star Wars The Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you. Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars The Old Republic. As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally receive your first lightsaber as you follow your class story at the end of your first planet. After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or buying a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet after you leave your first planet by talking to the Artifice Trainer. When you talk to a Crew Skills Trainer for the first time, a codex will pop up that tells you about the skill and what its two complementary gathering skills are. The two gathering crew skills that have Artifice are Treasure Hunting and Archaeology, which allow you to get the materials to craft artifice items. If you're on a free-to-play account, you can only choose one crew skill per character, so you might take Artifice on one character and Archaeology
I got
on
my necklace on and I'm laying in bed. Let me take it off
If you're
real
a former
quick.
subscriber, you'll have 2 crew skill slots available, but you can get a third for free by using a referral code. I've linked mine in the description of this video.
Where's your
and
buckle?
if you're a subscriber, you naturally have 3 crew skills unlocked per character, so you can make all 3 complementary crew
Right
skills,
there.
Archaeology, Treasure Hunting, and Artifice
There we
all
go.
on one character.
Okay,
After you talk to the crew skills trainer, you can start
there.
gathering the
Alright,
materials
let's
to craft a
roll.
lightsaber right away.
Okay,
Archaeology and
Let's
treasure
see.
hunting by sending your companions out together. Press V on your keyboard to open the crew skills window. Then click either the archaeology or treasure hunting symbol. You'll have a few grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up, and more missions will become available. Archaeology also allows you to pick up any crystals and archaeological finds you see on the ground while you're out and about testing. If you right-click any gathering mode, your companion will go and grab it for you. Many players take these types of gathering crew skills, archaeology, scavenging, biochem, and slicing, so they can pick up materials off the ground to sell or to use later for crafting. You can buy and sell materials on the GTN, also located on the fleet. So if you have credits and don't want to spend time gathering, you can buy materials from other players who have gathered them. Your crafting materials will automatically go into your materials bay, which you can get to from your inventory. This materials bay is shared by all your characters on your server. Any materials you pick up will be placed in your materials bay, and anything you craft will draw from your materials bay. To start crafting, press the B key again to open the crew skills window, and the artist symbol beside the menu. This will open the crafting skills window and show everything you have to craft. When you chose Artifice as a crew skill, you got some basic schematics to help get you started. We're going to start by crafting a Roomba Artifice Bonded Attachment, a schematic from the Artifice Trainer by default, which requires 2 lost artifact fragments, 2 fibrous stations, and 2 vessels.
And they got my girl
When you look at
back.
the tooltip by hovering over them, The lost artifact fragments are grade 1 artifact fragments. Artifact crystals are grade 1 crystals. If you open up your artifact missions, you'll notice that the missions tell you what they reward. In this case, your first 2 available missions reward grade 1 power crystals and artifact fragments, which is exactly what we're looking for, so we'll send our companions out to get some by double-clicking the mission. The fibrous nylite solution, the last material we need, is a white-bordered material. White-bordered materials are a bit different. You can either send your companions to gather them if you have the mission available for them, or buy them from a vendor called
Heal them swim before I can swing once.
To buy the exact amount of the item, you don't have to right-click it 16 times. Once you have all the materials you need, either from send your companions on gathering missions, buying them from other players, or buying them from that group skills, go back to your bonded attachments guide for Arcus, and click Craft on the bottom right, and your companion will start crafting. Once your companion is finished crafting it, the item will be the first lightsaber you can craft with Arcus is a fire node lightsaber or double-bladed lightsaber, which requires a level 10. You won't be able to see it on the bottom. First lightsaber.
I thought that was a hag. I thought that was one of them hag ravens. Damn, girl, I'm gonna get you out of that.
And when you hover over the fire node,
I shut it.
Once you've crafted your 4 bonded attachments and gotten hold of 4 fire nodes, you'll be able to craft your first lightsaber. Nice. Many types of crafted items require this 2-step process. First, craft components, then use the components to craft usable items. As you level up your artifice, usually by crafting different types of bonded attachments, more schematics will show up on the crew skills trainer. Crafting low-level schematics won't help you level up your crafting skill. You must craft more difficult items over time, and the easiest way to see if a crafting schematic will raise your crafting level is by looking at the colors of the schematic in the schematics window. If it's gray, you won't gain any crafting levels by crafting it, and crafting orange items is boost to your crafting level. The fire node lightsaber is meant for characters who are at level 10 or slightly higher, but higher level lightsabers will become available over time as you craft more. One important thing to know, though, is that these craftable lightsabers are not moddable. This means they are locked to the level they are meant for, and they are not higher level in the game. There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are moddable. Some of the schematics I found on the GTN that you can buy from other players include the lightsaber and double-bladed saber, the elegant mock-bladed lightsaber and double-bladed saber, and the mid-lift lightsaber and saber staff. Another thing to note is that you do not need equipment to level up in the game. Crafting is something fun and supplementary you can do to gear yourself or friends up, but it is not required. As an artificer, you can also craft all kinds of other cool things, including dyes, color crystals for your lightsaber or blaster, relics you can equip, and hilts you can put inside moddable lightsabers to upgrade them. These items are crafted in almost the exact same way as the lightsaber we just crafted. Some require components, some require a high enough artifice level, and all require treasure hunting. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to craft your first lightsaber and how to craft with artifice in general. If you want to show your support for this series, or to have similar Star Wars The Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you. Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars The Old Republic. As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally receive your first lightsaber as you follow your class story at the end of your first planet. After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or buying a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet after you leave your first planet by talking to the Artifice Trainer. When you talk to a Crew Skills Trainer for the first time, a codex will pop up that tells you about the skill and what its two complementary gathering skills are. The two gathering crew skills that go with Artifice are Treasure Hunting and Archaeology, which allow you to get the materials to craft purchase items. If you're on a free play account, you can choose one I've linked mine in the description of this video, and if you're subscribed, you have free crew skills unlocked per character, so you can make all three complementary crew skills, treasure hunting, and artifice all on one character. After you've talked to the crew skills trainer, you can start gathering the materials to craft a lightsaber right away with archaeology and treasure hunting by sending your companions out to gather. Press B on your keyboard to open the crew skills window, then click either the archaeology or treasure hunting symbol. You'll have a few grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up, and more missions will become available. Archaeology also allows you to pick up any crystals and archaeological finds you see on the ground while you're out and about questing. If you right-click any gathering node, your companion will go and grab it for you. Many players take these types of gathering crew skills, archaeology, scavenging, biochem, and slicing, so they can pick up materials off the ground to sell or to use later for crafting. You can buy and sell materials on the GTN, also located on the fleet. So if you have credits and don't have to spend time gathering, you can buy materials from other players with gathering points. Your crafting materials will automatically go into your materials bay, which you can get to from your inventory. This materials bay is shared by all your characters on the material will be placed in your materials bay, and anything you craft will drop from your materials bay. To start crafting, press the B key again to open the crew skills window, and the artifice symbol beside a companion. This will open the crafting schematics and everything you have available to craft. When you chose Artifice as a crew skill, you'll some basic schematics to help get you started. We're going to start by crafting a Rubat Artifice Bonded Attachment, a schematic lost artifact fragments, 2 5% solutions, and 2 Rubat crystals. Using the Artifice crew skills, materials will likely come from the complementary skills, either archaeology or treasure hunting. To find out what type of crafting materials these are, hover over them. When you look at the tooltip by hovering over them, the lost artifact fragments are grade 1 artifact fragments, and the Rubat crystals are grade 1 power crystals. If you open up your archaeology missions, you'll notice that the missions tell you what they reward. In this case, your first 2 available missions reward grade 1 power crystals and artifact fragments, which is exactly what we're looking for, so we'll set up the fragments on the fibrous nylite solution, the last material we need, is a white-bordered material. White-bordered materials are a bit different. You can either send your companions to gather them if available for them, or buy them directly from a vendor called the Crew Skills Trade Vendor in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet, who sells them pretty cheap. When you're buying from this vendor, or any vendor, don't forget you can shift left-click an item to buy an exact amount of the item. You don't have to right-click it 16 times. Once you have all the materials you need, either from sending your companions on gathering missions, buying them from other players, or buying them from that crew skills vendor, go back to your bonded attachment schematic for Artifice, and click Craft on the bottom right, and your companion will start crafting. Once your companion is finished crafting it, the item will show up in your inventory. The first lightsaber you can craft with Artifice is a fire node lightsaber or double-bladed lightsaber, which requires Artifice level 10. You won't be able to see it on the Artifice tree yet when you first pick up Artifice because this requirement is too low. As you craft Rubat Artifice bonded attachments, Your crafting level will go up, and once you reach Artifice level 10, the schematic will be available from the Artifice Trainer. So our first lightsaber, the Fire Node lightsaber, requires 4 Rubat Artifice points attachment we were just crafting, and 4 Fire Nodes to craft. You can craft the 4 bonded attachments yourself, and when you hover over the Fire Node, you'll see it's a gemstone, which is a type of material that can be gathered through the treasure hunting gathering skill. Once you've crafted your 4 bonded attachments and gotten a hold of 4 Fire Nodes, you'll be able to craft your first lightsaber. Next, crafting items require this 2-step process. Usually by crafting different types of bonded attachments, you must craft more difficult items over time. The easiest way to see if a crafting schematic will raise your crafting level is by looking at the colors of the schematic in the schematics window. If it's gray, you won't gain any crafting levels by crafting it, and crafting orange items will give you the biggest boost to your crafting level. The Fire Node lightsaber is meant for characters who are at level 10 or slightly higher, but higher level lightsabers will become available over time as you craft more. One important thing to know though is that these craftable lightsabers are not moddable. This means they are locked to the level they are meant for, and they are not useful to you when you're a higher level in the game. There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are lockable. Some of the schematics I found are just that you can require components, some require a high enough artifice level, and all require materials from archaeology and treasure series all have similar Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars: The Old Republic. As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally receive your first lightsaber as you follow your class story at the end of your first planet. After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or find a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice after your first planet by talking to the Artifice Trainer. When you talk to the Crew skills trainer for the first time, a code is which allow you to get the materials to craft Artifice items. If you're on a free-to-play account, you can only choose one crew skill per character, so you might take Artifice on one character and Artifice on another and have them work together. If you're a former subscriber, you'll have 2 crew skill slots available, but you can get a third for free by using a referral code. I've linked in the description of this video, and if you're a subscriber, you naturally have 3 crew skills unlocked per character, so you can make all 3 complementary crew skills: archaeology, treasure hunting, and Artifice all on the character. After you shop to the crew skills trainer, you can start gathering the materials to craft a lightsaber right away with archaeology and treasure hunting by sending your companions out to gather. Press B on your keyboard to open the crew skills window, then click either the archaeology or treasure hunting symbol. You'll have a few grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up, and more missions will become available. Archaeology also allows you to pick up any crystals and archaeological finds you see on the ground while you're out and about questing. If you right-click any gathering node, your companion will craft it for you. Many players take these types of gathering crew skills, archaeology, scavenging, biochem, and slicing, so they can pick up materials off the ground to sell or to use later for crafting. You can buy and sell materials on the GTN, also located on the map. So if you have friends and don't want to spend time gathering, you can buy materials from other players who have gathered them. Your crafting materials will automatically go into your materials bay, which you can get to from your inventory. This materials bay is shared by all your characters on your server. Any materials you pick up will be placed in your materials bay, and anything you craft will draw from your materials bay. To start crafting, press the B key again to open the crew skills window, and the artist symbol beside a companion. This will open the crafting schematics window, which shows everything you have available to craft. Choose Artifice as a crew skill. You got some basic schematics to help get you started. We're going to start by crafting a Rubat Artifice Bonded Attachment, a schematic we got from the Artifice Trainer by default, which requires 2 Lost Artifact Fragments, 2 Fibrous Nightlight Solutions, and 2 Rubat Crystals. Since we're using the Artifice crew skill, the materials will likely come from the complementary skills, either Archaeology or Treasure Hunting. To find out what type of crafting materials these are, hover over them. When you look at the tooltip by hovering over them, the Lost Artifact Fragments are Grade 1 Artifact Fragments, and the Rubat Crystals are Grade 1 Power Crystals. If you open up your Archaeology missions, you'll notice that the missions tell you what they reward. In this case, your first 2 available missions reward Grade 1 Power Crystals and Artifact Fragments, which is exactly what we're looking for, so we'll send our companions out to get some by double-clicking the mission. The Fibrous Nightlight Solution, the last material we need, is a white-bordered material. White-bordered materials are a bit different. You can either send your companions to gather them for them, or buy them so pretty cheap. When you're buying from this vendor, or any vendor, don't forget you can shift left-click an item to buy the exact amount of the item. You don't have to right-click it 16 times. Once you have all the materials you need, either from send your companions on gathering missions, buying them from other players, or buying them from that skills vendor, go back to your bonded attachment schematic for Artifice and click Craft on the bottom right, and your companion will start crafting. Once your companion is finished crafting it, the item will show up in your inventory. The first lightsaber you can craft with Artifice is a Fire Node lightsaber or double-bladed lightsaber, which requires Artifice level 10. You won't be able to see it on the Artifice Trainer yet when you first make Artifice because your crafting level is low. As you craft Rubat Artifice bonded attachments, your crafting level will go up, and once you reach Artifice level 10, the schematic will be available from the Artifice Trainer. So our first lightsaber, the Fire Node lightsaber, requires 4 Rubat Artifice bonded attachments, what we were just crafting, and 4 fire nodes to craft. You craft the 4 bonded attachments yourself, and when you hover over the fire node, you'll see a gemstone, which is a type of material that can be gathered through the treasure hunting gathering skill. Once you've crafted your 4 bonded attachments and you've gotten hold of 4 fire nodes, you'll be able to craft your first lightsaber. Nice. Many types of crafted items require this 2-step process. First, craft components, then use the components to craft usable items. As you level up your Artifice, usually by crafting different types of bonded attachments, more schematics are trainer. Crafting low-level schematics won't help you level up your crafting skill. You must craft more difficult items over time, and the easiest way to see if a crafting schematic brings you more than level is by looking at the colors of the color in the schematics window. If it's gray, you won't gain any crafting skills by crafting it, and crafting orange items will always boost your crafting level. The Fire Node lightsaber is meant for characters who are at level 10 or slightly higher, but higher level lightsabers will become available over time as you craft more. One important thing to know, though, is that these craftable lightsabers are not moddable. This means they're locked to the level they're meant for, and they're not useful to you when you're a higher level in the game. There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are lockable. Some of the schematics I found are 5 years would be lightsaber and double-bladed saber, and the Beyond lightsaber and saber craft. Another thing to note is that you do not need to complete all your level up in the game. Crafting is something Artificer, you can also craft all kinds of other cool things, including dyes, color crystals for your lightsaber or blaster, relics you can equip, and things you can put inside moddable lightsabers to upgrade them. These items are crafted in almost the exact same way as the lightsaber we just crafted. Some require components, some require a high enough artist level, and all require materials from archaeology and treasure hunting. I hope you learned how to craft your first lightsaber and how to craft with artists in general. If you want to show your support for this series, or to have similar Star Wars and as always, may the Force be with you. Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars: The Old Republic. As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally receive your first lightsaber as you follow your class story at the end of your first planet. After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or buying a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet after you leave your first planet by talking to the Artifice Trainer. When you talk to a Crew Skills Trainer for the first time, a codex will pop up that tells you about the skill and what its two complementary gathering skills are. The two gathering crew skills that go with Artifice are Treasure Hunting and Archaeology, which allow you to get the materials to craft Artifice items. If you're on a free-to-play account, you can only choose one crew skill per character, so you might take Artifice on one character and Archaeology on another and have them work together. If you're a former subscriber, you'll have two crew skill slots available, but you can get a third for free by using a referral code. I've linked mine in the description of this video, and if you're a subscriber, you naturally have 3 crew skills unlocked per character, so you can make all 3 complementary crew skills: Archaeology, Treasure Hunting, and Artifice all on one character. After you've talked to the crew skills trainer, you can start gathering the materials to craft a lightsaber right away with Archaeology and Treasure Hunting by sending your companions out to gather. Press B on your keyboard to open the crew skills window, then click either the Archaeology or Treasure Hunting symbol. You'll have a few Grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up, and more missions will become available. Archaeology also allows you to pick up any crystals or bodies seen on the ground while you're out and about questing. If you right-click any gathering room, your companion will go and grab it for you. Many players take these types of gathering crew skills: Archaeology, Scavenging, Biochem, and Slicing, so they can pick up materials off the ground to sell or to use later for crafting. You can buy and sell materials on the GTN, also located on the page. So if you have credits and don't use to spend time gathering, you can buy materials from other players who have gathered them. Your crafting materials will automatically go into your materials bay, which you can get to from your inventory. This materials bay is shared by all your characters on your server. Any materials you pick up will be placed in your materials bay, and anything you craft will drop from your materials bay. To start crafting, press the B key again to open the crew skills window, and the Artifice symbol beside the menu. You will open the crafting schematics window, which shows everything you have available to craft. When you chose Artifice as a crew skill, you got some basic schematics to help get you started. We're going to start by crafting a Ruba Artifice Bonded Attachment, a schematic we got from the Artifice Trainer by default, which requires 2 Lost Artifact Fragments, 2 Fibrous Nightlight Solutions, and 2 Rubat Crystals. Since we're using the Artifice skill, the material we collect will come from the complementary skills, either Archaeology or Treasure Hunting. To find out what type of crafting materials these are, hover over them. When you look at the tooltip by hovering over them, the Lost Artifact Fragments are Grade 1 Artifact Fragments, and the Rubat Crystals are Grade 1 Power Crystals. If you open up your Archaeology missions, you'll notice that the missions tell you what they reward. power crystals and artifact fragments, which is exactly what you're looking for. So we'll send our companions out to get some by double-clicking the mission. The fibrous alloy solution, the last material we need, is white-bordered material. White-bordered materials are a bit different. You can either send your companions to gather them if you have the mission available for them, or buy them directly from a vendor called the Crew Skills Trade Vendor in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet, who sells them pretty cheap. When you're buying from this vendor, or any vendor, don't forget you can shift, left-click an item to buy an exact amount of the item. You don't have to right-click it to get some effects. Once you have all the materials you need, either from send your companions on gathering missions, buying them from other players, or buying them from that Crew Skills vendor, go back to your bonded attachment schematic for Artifice and click Craft on the bottom right, and your companion will start crafting. Once your companion is finished crafting it, the item will show up in your inventory. The first lightsaber you can craft with Artifice is a fire node lightsaber or double-bladed lightsaber, which requires Artifice level 10. You won't be able to see it on the Artifice trainer yet with Artifice because the crafting process is being grown. As you craft the Artifice bonded will up, and once you reach Artifice level 10, the schematic will be available from the Artifice trainer. So our first lightsaber, fire attachments, what we were just crafting, and 4 fire nodes crafted. When you hover over the fire node, you'll see it's a gemstone gathered using the treasure hunting gathering skill. Once you've crafted your 4 bonded attachments and gotten hold of 4 fire nodes, you'll be able to craft the first lightsaber. Crafting items require this 2-step process. First, craft these components to craft usable items. As you cover all your artifacts, more schematics will show up on your trainer. Crafting low-level schematics won't help you level up your crafting skill. You must craft more difficult items over time, and the easiest way to see if a crafting schematic will raise your crafting level crafting orange items will give you the biggest boost to your crafting level. The fire lightsaber is meant for characters who are at level 10 or slightly higher, but higher level lightsabers will become available over time as you craft more. One important thing to know though is that these craftable lightsabers are not modifiable, since they are locked to the level they are meant for, and they are not useful to you when you're a higher level in the game. There are only a small handful of lightsabers that are lockable. Some of the schematics I found on the GTN that you can buy from other players include the custom-built lightsaber and double-bladed saber, the elegant modern lightsaber and double-bladed saber, and the lightsaber and saber. Another thing to note is that you do not need good equipment while you're leveling up in the game. Crafting is something fun and supplementary you can do to gear yourself or friends up, but it is not required. As an artificer, you can also craft all kinds of other cool things, including dyes, color pieces for your lightsaber, elements you can cook, and things you can put inside waterfall lightsabers to upgrade them. These items are crafted almost the exact same way as the lightsaber we just crafted. Some require components, some require a high enough artifice level, and all require materials from archaeology and folklore. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to craft your first lightsaber and how to craft with Artifice in general. If you want to show your support for this series, or to have similar Star Wars The Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you. Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars The Old Republic. As a Jedi or a Sith, you'll naturally receive your first lightsaber as you follow your class story at the end of your first planet. After that, you'll occasionally receive new lightsaber models from various quests across the galaxy. Apart from questing or buying a lightsaber from another player on the GTN, you can also craft your own lightsabers and double-bladed lightsabers using the Artifice Crafting Crew skill. You can pick up Artifice in the Strongholds and Crew Skills section of the fleet after you leave your first planet by talking to the Artifice trainer. When you talk to a crew skills trainer for the first time, a codex will pop up that tells you about the skill and what its two complementary gathering skills are. The two gathering crew skills that go with artifice are treasure hunting and archaeology, which allow you to get the materials to craft artifice items. If you're on a free-to-play account, you can only choose one crew skill per character, so you might take artifice on one character and archaeology on another and have them work together. If you're a former subscriber, you'll have two crew skills slots available, but you can get a third for free by using a referral code.
I hope this shit ain't
in the
froze.
description of this video, and if you're a subscriber, you naturally have 3 crew skills unlocked per character, so you can make all 3 complementary crew skills, archaeology, treasure hunting, and artifice, all on one character. After you've talked to the crew skills trainer, you can start gathering materials to craft a lightsaber right away with archaeology and treasure hunting by sending your companions out to gather. Press B on your keyboard to open the crew skills window.
I believe this joint
Then
just
click
froze
either
on
the
us.
archaeology or treasure hunting
Everybody.
symbol. You'll have a few grade 1 missions available to start, and as your companions successfully return from missions, your gathering skill level will go up and more missions will become available.
Yes,
Archaeology
froze.
also allows you to pick up
Alright,
any crystals
Yuki-Tei,
and
I guess I'm
archaeological
out.
finds you see on the ground while you're out and about questing. If you